Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor E. Frankl. Viktor's famous book, Man's Search for Meaning, is a profound exploration of human resilience, suffering, and the quest for purpose, blending a harrowing memoir of his Holocaust experiences with an introduction to his psychotherapeutic method, logotherapy. Published in 1946, the book draws from Frankl's time as a prisoner in Nazi concentration camps, where he endured unimaginable horrors, and uses these experiences to illustrate his belief that finding meaning in life is the central human drive, even in the face of extreme adversity. We unfolds in two parts. The first, a vivid recounting of life in the camps, and the second, an exposition of logotherapy's principles, which emphasize meaning as the cornerstone of psychological survival and fulfillment. The memoir begins with Frankl's deportation to Auschwitz and other camps, including Theresienstadt, Kaufering, and Turkheim, between 1942 and 1945. He describes the brutal realities of camp life: starvation, forced labor, beatings, and the constant threat of death in gas chambers or from disease. Stripped of everything: family, possessions, identity, prisoners faced a dehumanizing existence. Frankl observes that survival depended not just on physical strength, but on mental fortitude. Those who found a reason to endure, whether through hope of reuniting with loved ones, a sense of duty, or inner purpose, were more likely to persevere. He recounts moments of despair, like when prisoners lost hope and gave up, often dying soon after, contrasted with acts of defiance, such as small gestures of kindness or humor that preserved a sense of humanity. Frankl's own survival was tied to his inner life. He clung to the image of his wife, Tilly, engaging in imagined dialogues with her, and to his determination to rewrite a manuscript confiscated by the Nazis. These mental anchors gave him a why to live, a concept central to his philosophy. Frankl illustrates the psychological stages of camp life. Initially, prisoners experienced shock and delusion, clinging to naive hopes of quick release. This gave way to apathy, a protective numbing to the relentless cruelty where survival meant focusing only on the present moment. Yet, even in this apathy, Frankl saw glimmers of choice. Prisoners could decide how to respond to their suffering. Some succumbed to bitterness or brutality, while others showed compassion, sharing meager rations or offering comfort. Liberation brought a final stage: depersonalization and difficulty reintegrating into a world that could not comprehend their trauma. Frankl reflects on the paradox of freedom, noting that survivors often struggled to find meaning in a life that felt alien after such extreme suffering. The camps revealed the spectrum of human nature. Frankl describes both the depravity of some prisoners, who became as cruel as their captors, and the nobility of others who maintained dignity despite everything. He argues that humans are neither inherently good nor evil, but defined by their choices. This idea of choice underpins his philosophy. No matter the circumstances, individuals retain the last of the human freedoms, the ability to choose their attitude. Frankl cites examples like a dying woman who found meaning in her final days by appreciating the beauty of a tree outside her barracks window, or his own decision to reject an escape plan to stay with his patients, prioritizing duty over personal safety. The second part of the book introduces logotherapy, Frankl's therapeutic approach, which contrasts with Freud's pleasure-driven psychoanalysis and Adler's power-focused psychology. Logotherapy posits that the primary human motivation is the will to meaning. Frankl argues that life has intrinsic meaning, discoverable through three avenues: creative work or deeds, experiences, especially love, and the attitude adopted toward unavoidable suffering. Unlike other therapies that dwell in the past, logotherapy is future-oriented, encouraging patients to identify purposes worth living for. Frankl explains that meaning is unique to each person and can shift over time, found in small moments or grand aspirations. In the camps, meaning might be surviving to bear witness. In everyday life, it could be raising a child or pursuing a passion. Frankl elaborates on logotherapy's techniques, such as dereflection, shifting focus from self-obsession to external purpose, and paradoxical intention, embracing rather than fearing symptoms, like anxiety, to diminish their power. He shares case studies, such as a man grieving his wife who found meaning by honoring her memory through living fully, or patients overcoming phobias by intentionally engaging with their fears. These methods aim to combat the existential vacuum, a sense of emptiness Frankl saw in modern life, where people lacking purpose turn to hedonism, addiction, or despair. He warns that without meaning, individuals risk nihilism, a belief that life is pointless, which he considers a root of psychological and societal ills. Suffering, Frankl asserts, is not necessary for meaning, but can be a powerful avenue for it when unavoidable. He stresses that suffering must be met with courage and purpose, transforming it into a human achievement. In the camps, this meant finding dignity and endurance. In therapy, it means helping patients reframe pain as a challenge to grow. Frankl also addresses guilt, particularly survivor's guilt, encouraging patients to see their survival as an opportunity to fulfill a purpose, not a burden. He emphasizes responsibility. Individuals must answer to life by making choices that align with their values. The book's enduring message is that meaning is always available, even in the darkest moments. Frankl rejects deterministic views that reduce humans to biology or environment, insisting that freedom lies in how we respond to life's conditions. He illustrates this with stories of prisoners who, despite losing everything, found purpose in small acts of defiance or hope, and with logotherapy patients who overcame despair by discovering personal missions. The camps taught Frankl that life's meaning is not abstract but concrete, tied to specific actions and relationships. His love for his wife, his commitment to his work, and his resolve to survive for a purpose sustained him. Frankl concludes by urging readers to live as if they are responsible for making life meaningful, not just for themselves, but for the world. He warns against chasing happiness directly, as it is a byproduct of meaning, not its source. The book ends with a call to action, to find one's unique purpose, whether through creativity, connection, or courageous endurance, and to live it fully, even in the face of suffering.